Tell me a little bit about your back pain.
Sure.
And, what's going on?
So I think I've been having back pain since I had kids. It started maybe 6 years ago and then got better. And then it got worse again after I had my second child. Typically, I feel a lot in my lower back and hips. Sometimes there's some upper back pain, like around my shoulders, that travels up into my neck. The low back especially, it can flare up when I'm picking up my kids. Sleep can bother it too. Sleep positions, I'm a stomach sleeper.
Oh.
Those are some of the main things.
Okay.
A lot of walking, if I'm kind of extra active, it can get bothered.
Do you have any pain down your legs or anything like that from its like sciatic leg pain?
Not really.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pretty localized to your back. Mm-hmm. And is it central back or is it more one side than the other?
It's low back, either in the middle or more towards my left.
Do you have any old injuries in your left side?
No injuries.
Okay. All right. You've had this on and off for 6 years now, and you've got a young family. How is it having back pain with a young family?
It can be really limiting. I think it's gotten better as my kids have gotten older and I'm not picking them up as much, but it's definitely been a consideration in whether like we would have more kids, because I just don't know if my body could handle it. So it's definitely impacting my life. And then also just with working, staying in one position, it can get bothered and it feels frustrating to not be able to like sit and do my work for extended periods of time like I used to be able to do.
Can you describe maybe some of the things that make your back hurt more?
I think, again, lifting the kids a lot, and then sleep is a trigger too. Being a stomach sleeper, it typically will wear off throughout the day as I start to get moving, but it's not a fun way to start out the day.
Yeah. Did you have back pain during pregnancy?
Yes, especially with my first son, and it was all on my left side.
Yeah.
And never fully went away.
What happens is the assumption is a lot of women have back pain during pregnancy, and then after they have their child, the back pain tends to go away. But what I show in the book is that the body doesn't go back to what it was prior to that pregnancy in terms of alignment issues.
Right.
And so that's probably what is going on with you, and we're going to see if we can solve that today.
Okay.
Sound good?
That sounds great.
Now, I'm just curious, does that feel different on one side versus the other, or do they feel about the same?
It's strange because this side feels tighter.
It looks a little tighter to me, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And this is one of the things that we uncover when we're doing these types of things, are these asymmetries that are combined to create pain on one side of the body more than the other.
Gotcha.
And oftentimes, it doesn't seem very intuitive.
Right, right. Yeah, you would think it would be all on the one side.
Right. Okay, let's go ahead and come on out of there. We're going to do our retest.
Yeah, I mean, it still feels better on my left. It actually kind of feels a little bit more loose now on my right too, like when I'm going over towards the left and stretching up through here.
Okay, so when we stretched the front of your thigh, that felt better for your back. On a 0 to 10 scale, what did you start with on your left back pain in terms of when you bent over and did that little twist?
Maybe like a 6 or a 7.
Okay.
Yeah, and now like a 2.
Like a 2.
Yeah,
okay.
much less.
Let's see if we can get it to 0.
Okay.
And I also want you to pay attention to the fact that when you're standing on your left side, your pelvis doesn't rotate. When you stand on your right side, you have to rotate your pelvis back in order to get that to work. So what I would like to see you do is try and do it without rotating. Even if your foot only moves a little bit, let's not let your body rotate.
Okay. So I want my hips facing forward. Okay.
There's some significant weakness in your right hip.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to do this.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So this is going to be a big deal for you.
Okay.
Yet another thing that's adding to this asymmetry in the usage, and that's why you're having pain just on one side, or at least
mostly
more on one side than the other. Okay.
Gotcha.
Surprisingly, we found tightness on your hamstring, right side, weakness on your right hip, and it's your left back that's feeling worse.
So am I overcompensating?
It could be an overcompensation issue because this pelvis is higher on your left side and your rib cage is lower.
Yep.
So usually this indicates a weakness on the left. But in your case, it's the opposite. It's a compensation, I think.
Okay.
All right. So this will be a good one for you.
Okay.
All right. So let's say we've done 2 sets of those.
Okay.
Retest your pain.
Okay. Hold on. I think it was twisting. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely significantly better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where are we now?
Probably more at like a 1,
Oh,
even
1
0.
One even 0 out of 10. Okay. Okay, then we're going to come back to the center and come back up.
Yeah, I think I'm definitely more at a 0 at this point.
Okay, great. So was that a difficult thing to do?
No, it was very easy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did these feel stressful at all to you? Mm-mm. Were you surprised by anything?
I think just surprised at how tight I am on the right side when I always think of the pain being on my left side.
Yeah.
So that was a big surprise.
Yeah. Is there anything other than that tightness that maybe you think is at the bottom of this?
I don't know. I think mainly that tightness, and then there's some, like, I think overextending my spine maybe too, or yeah.
Yeah. So here's something that also came out with that is that the right hip is weaker than your left.
Yes, yeah,
Right?
and I definitely felt, and I still feel some of the stretches in my hip on that side.
A lot weaker than your left. So I think that would be something to focus on when you're doing this program, is to pay attention to those imbalances and fix those.
Yeah.
Because they're meaningful. They take your pain away.
Yes.
And that didn't take us very long.
No.
At all.
Yeah, that was really easy.
Yeah. Okay. So this is another thing that's in the program. I wanted to show you a way that you can sleep on your stomach
Okay.
without hurting your back.
That would be great.
All right. So one of the reasons that your back is hurting is because of this arch that you've mentioned a few times. All right. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
When women become pregnant, the baby pulls the pelvis forward and the back arches, and then when you have the baby, the back tends to stay in that position.
Yeah.
And so that's when the tightness in the thigh muscles occur and all that kind of stuff, and no one fixes those.
Right.
So that's what you're going to be fixing now. But lying on your stomach, if you have tight thigh muscles, that tightness will cause the back to arch even more while you're
Okay.
sleeping, and that's where the problem is. So until you get the thigh muscles stretched out completely, here's the recommendation I would have for you for sleeping. So you just simply put a pillow underneath your chest.
Okay.
All right, so go ahead and try that. Lie down on your back or on your tummy.
Okay.
And so what the pillow is doing, we want the pillow to be up by the shoulders, and we want it to allow, we'll scoot it up there a little bit more. There we go. Because this allows the hip to flex, and therefore strain is taken off your back. All right? So I'm going to have you lie here for just a second, and so I see that you're bumping that left knee out to the side. And you're doing that, do you know why? Because your left thigh is tighter than your right side. Does that make sense? So you know to adjust that. You just don't know why. All right? So you can, you can put something underneath more on that left side if that makes you feel even better. All right, that's up to you. So we're going to, now that you've been there for about a minute, we're going to take the pillows away.
Okay.
And I want you to see what your back feels like without the pillows.
Yeah, that feels like
It just, you feel the
tweaked
instant
totally.
strain,
Yeah.
right? And then we put the pillows back again. And it immediately feels better.
yes, yeah.
And now
That's
you know
amazing.
why. Okay. Any questions?
No,
Pretty simple,
that
isn't
is
it?
simple.
Yeah.
Wish I knew these things before.
Yeah. Well, you know them now. Good. You can go ahead and stand up.
Okay.
Any questions?
No, I think we covered it. I'm really excited to know what's going on and be able to start working towards it.
Yeah. And literally, how many minutes did it take us?
Yeah, this was very fast.
Yeah.
And as a busy mom, I feel like it needs to be like that.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, great. Well,
Awesome.
thank you.
Thank you.